The new year, 2025, is upon us, and I have some reading plans. Hello, welcome to my channel, another Bibliophile Reads. My name is Greg, and I was tagged in the New Year, New Me book tag created by KevinTowle Reads. I was also tagged by a few other people. And since the week of 2025 is coming to a close, I thought I need to get this tag out the door and done. There are 9 prompts. Prompt number 1, fears. What is one book from your 2025 reading goals that scares you? In Search of Lost Time by Marcel Proust. This is either 7 books or one very long book. There is a lot of discussion about that. It is 4,200 pages in English translation, and I have set up a Discord channel where I'm going to be reading this book over the entirety of 2025. There are quite a number of participants joining me for this reading goal. I will leave a link in the description of this video if you care to join us. I am only on page 103 of the first volume, and so far it is utterly fascinating. Proust has a style unlike most other authors, but still, I'm kind of scared because this is a huge commitment. Prompt number 2, patience. What is one book on your 2025 reading goals that you want to start immediately? I'm going to cheat. I'm going to give you 3 books. I do want to start all these books right away, but they are scheduled for future readings. The first I will start in February, and this is The Brothers Karamazov by Fyodor Dostoevsky. It will be a group read with the Ulysses 6. The Ulysses 6 is a group of booktubers I read Ulysses by James Joyce with last year in June and July, and that was one of the most fabulous reading experiences I've had on BookTube, even though I really did not enjoy the book Ulysses that much. But in February, we start this classic Russian novel of brothers and a murdered father. In June, I will be reading Fathers and Crows by William T. Vollmann. This is a reread for me. This is an historical novel taking place mostly in the 1600s Canada. It is about the encounters of the Jesuits and the Iroquois Indians. This is a huge postmodernistic novel. It is dense, it is detailed, it is complicated, but I've always wanted to reread this. I first picked it up when it was published in the 1990s, and 2025 will be the year that I reread it. Beginning in September is another reread for me, J.R. by William Gaddis, originally published in 1975. It won the National Book Award. This is essentially a satire on finance, set mostly in New York City. It is about 90 to 95% unattributed dialogue. There are no chapter breaks, and it is hilarious. If you choose to read this, I'm also doing this on my Discord channel. I recommend the audiobook, and you should listen to the audiobook while reading this text. It does help you understand it. And this will be, as I said, my 3rd time reading this book. It is quickly becoming a favorite of mine. Prompt number 3, growth. What book last year pushed you to reflect and or grow as a reader? I don't normally reflect too much on growth in that sense, but I'm going to pick Les Miserables by Victor Hugo because I can really admire Hugo's dedication to humanity, his knowledge that the poor people in France at that time were treated so horribly, and they are people just like us, even if they have very little money. So I appreciate his sentiments about the poor. So I'll call that growth. Prompt number 4, new paths. What is one author you plan to try for the first time in 2025? Again, I think I am going to cheat just a little. I'm going to give you 2 authors, but you'll see why. Becky Chambers, The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. Many booktubers love this author and love this series of science fiction novels. Criminally, he was calling it something like solar punk because it is, as I said, very optimistic science fiction. It is a story of found friendships on a starship exploring the universe. And I'm not normally one for optimistic fiction, so it might be a little challenging for me. And for that reason, I've paired it off with another author, and that is a Star Eater by Kirsten Hall. This is going to be a darker, grimmer science fiction novel. It has been described as witchy cannibal nuns in space. There's a lot of murder, martyrdom, and macabre political games. So I'm going to have those 2 lady authors duke it out and see which novel I like best. I want to read them back to back and see which one I come out liking the most. I think Kirsten Hall is a favorite, knowing me, but Becky Chambers could pull off an unexpected win. Prompt number 5, self-care. What is one book and or series you revisit for comfort? In 2025, I want to revisit some rereadings from my favorite genres. Books tentatively scheduled for 2025 are Cujo in It by Stephen King, Rosemary's Baby by Ira Levin, The Shrinking Man by Richard Masterton, The Moat in God's Eye by Larry Niven and Jerry Hornell, Midnight at the Well of Souls by Jack L. Chalker, The Long Goodbye by Raymond Chandler, The Valley of Fear by Arthur Conan Doyle, and The Woman in White by Wilkie Collins, because those are all great books that I have read before and truly enjoyed. So I'm looking forward to those rereads. Prompt number 6, forging ahead. What is your favorite debut book or first book in a series you read last year? I am going with The Wolf Den by Elodie Harper. It is an historical fiction novel set in Pompeii, beginning in the year 71 AD. If you know your math, in 7 years or 8 years, something drastic is going to happen in Pompeii. It is the story of a young woman sold off into slavery to be a prostitute and her ability to rise above her situation. And I really enjoyed the audiobook that I listened to, so much that I planned to get and listen to the rest of the trilogy, which is The House with the Golden Door and The Temple of Fortuna. Prompt number 7, goals. Do you have any specific reading goal or challenge for the year ahead? Yes, I do. I plan to read 60,000 pages in print, digital, or audiobook. I know that sounds like a lot of pages, and for most people, it is a lot of pages, but I am retired and I don't have a lot else to do. I also want to set a goal for myself to read a book published in every decade in the 20th and 21st centuries. I am going to include some of the later of the 19th century as well. I also want to focus on reading more books from my NYRB Classics line because I love these books. They're on my shelf and I don't read enough of them. So maybe one book from this publisher per month. That should be a good goal. Prompt number 8, breaking walls. This is a bonus prompt. Do you have any non-book related goal for 2025 you wish to share? I want to stop watching political videos and political commentary on YouTube. It is just getting me stressed and bunged because our country is going into that big outhouse for a couple of years, and no one's going to be cleaning up the outhouse. And I don't need to hear people talking about that. I'm just going to be reading some good books. Prompt number 9, teamwork. Tag others. I think a lot of people have been tagged already. The year is already getting underway, so get to you if you can. If not, don't worry about it. But I'm going to tag the Holmes boys, and that will be Jim at Mystery and Mayhem, Alan at Big Hard Books and Classics, and Mark at Book Time with Elvis. Thank you so much for watching, and keep on reading.